Mark. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. I gotta tell Mark something though. Mark, will you ditch the camera that's looking at the side of your face? I can't see Connor anymore. All right, what's up, everybody? Speaking of all that, we're trying a new platform for our Twitch stream, and it's given us a lot of fun things that we can try, and also some minefields that we have to navigate. So bear with us. We're doing our best, but it's to bring you the highest quality video and sound we can. Anyways, it's Wednesday, my favorite Wednesday of the week. Welcome to Void Jumpers. It's an actual play TTRPG live stream that we're doing on this website that you're on currently called Twitch. We use this book when we play. It's called Monster of the Week. It's powered by the Apocalypse Mechanics. This one's written by Michael Sands. It's really great, and I highly recommend you use it because what we like about it is it really lets us play a lot with character and narrative and focus on the parts of the game that we like without it doing anything to get in our way and only giving us mechanics that help. Anyways, enough about their bumpers.
Whoa!
Whoa!
We're off to a zany start. Whoa!
We got zipped from the side.
Wait, am I
Well,
still
what's up,
just...
everybody?
Oh, no, there I am.
There you are.
Yay!
Okay, welcome everybody. How are you today?
Oh, that's been a tough
Asking
question
you
to
guys.
answer for the last year or so.
Well, yeah,
Or you want me to try? I've been okay.
that's good.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh.
what's up? We're gonna do a little bit of stuff before we get into void jumping. I think it's just popping over to Trin real quick for a little Democracy Corner.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's Democracy Corner. This is your reminder that while it is specifically Black History Month right now, it's Black History Month all the time because that's American history and that's global history. So you shouldn't be learning about the contributions of Black Americans just during February. You should be doing it all year long. My Democracy Now! Bit is this. So I've been doing some Sundance panels, not being a part of them, just being the audience of them. And I went to a really great one that was talking about how we reimagine the world. Like, how can we break out of these hierarchical structures that overvalue cishet white men? And that was really motivating and inspiring for me. And I'm putting it out there to all of you because I know you are also invested in the process of reimagining the world around us. We do it all the time. And one of the things that I think we as a society and culture need to focus on are the stories that we tell and creating the narratives that support the world that we want to be in. You know, it's part of the failures of Reconstruction were because the lost cause became such a widely spread narrative. So I want to be a part of a system that works to create better stories and narratives. And there's a really awesome group of women in Hollywood who are women of color who are working to mentor other women of color and non-binary folks and build them places in Hollywood so that they can both reimagine systems outside of Hollywood, but also work to bring change from within. So I'm going to drop that organization in the chat. I hope that you will consider supporting them. I am myself am personally supporting them because I really believe in the mission that they're doing. So. And if you're on Twitter at all, the hashtag is StartWith8Hollywood. It's about, you know, bringing people up and bringing them along with you. And I'm all about that. So that's it for Democracy Corner this week.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
I don't think we got anything else outside of the game to get into. So I'm gonna say, let's roll that previously on Void Jumpers thing.
Cool.
So y'all want to be part of the rebellion?
Do we get a badge?
Okay,
Ooh.
yeah, you guys want some underpants badges? We can get you that. When your mother gets up, before she clicks off, you can see that, like most of us these days, she's not wearing pants for this video call. And right the split second before the video cuts out, you just see a little rebel underwear badge, and then the comm cuts out. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Tara, you're obviously welcome as well. I don't know if you want to, or if you want each other to both. If you guys will both, if you want to come, both you could come together. You could both come. You could come together.
And I cut tag off and I say, listen, I'm the only one who's allowed to be that awkward.
And I'm like, can I put it on your wrist?
Is this a friendship bracelet?
Yes. But it's special. But I can only show you how special it is if I put it on your wrist.
I absolutely accept friendship bracelet.
Look for another
Tell me what
message from me. It'll be encrypted. Bryn, the key to unlocking the encryption is the same sequence of runes that I showed you on your staff to invite your tall arachnid friend. More later. Till then, bye.
Literally every woman that I've ever married is still there. So
The door opens and a woman enters. She's wrapped in fur. A wide brim hat and veil hides her face. When she takes the hat off, you see that it's Miss Kale. I need a favor.
what is it?
I need you to find my son. The louse has run off and taken something that doesn't belong to him. Nobody else has weapons? Rex, you didn't bring your shit? He ain't missing, sweetheart. I think he might be avoiding you.
Why would he avoid me? You saying something's wrong with me?
I'm not saying anything of the sort, but Fittich ain't missing. He's in back right now.
That dirty devil.
Listen, bro.
What?
You better
Bro.
check yourself before something really bad happens to you.
Wow, bro. You had the opportunity to insult me and rhyme while doing it, and you missed out.
And looks over his shoulder at the sign that says Sam Hagen Detective Agency, and he goes,
Oh, right. This is totally a trap.
Well, that was the director's commentary version of previously on. Little, hopefully you got a little treat if you had closed captions on, and if you didn't, well, then you missed out.
all right, so
Can I run something by you before we start?
I suppose, yes.
I think this is going to be a leg up game for me. Can you guys really, is that going to affect you? If I really have a whole leg up here? I don't want to cramp anybody's style, but I think that this is really going to make for the best.
Well, Lisa's not a vampire anymore, so I think it's probably okay.
Yeah. Here, I'll put a leg up with you.
Oh, one's
Yes!
short.
You can't see mine.
Okay.
Is that all you wanted to run by us, Connor? Was the leg up?
What do you mean by all?
I'm sorry. Was that what you wanted to run by us? Was the leg up?
Yeah. Well, it's a big, I want to make space to talk about how it might affect us.
I'd say go with it.
Okay. Do you guys want me to try the other leg?
Yeah.
So this is left leg. This is lounging on the left leg. Thoughts from my fellow streamers?
Yeah, it reminds me of what's his name, Diogenes, the thinking man.
Oh,
but but like with a foot. So
And like
Very-
some tude.
And hip.
yeah, I'm into it. It's like Diogenes, but with like a neon headband or something.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks, guys.
You're welcome. I'm glad we addressed that. Okay, so we left off last week with you guys returning back to Sam's office with...
We have a tip.
A tip.
Yeah, a donation.
Like a tip, like a, you know.
Yeah, which leg is better?
Okay, yeah.
Which leg?
It says #Sam. Hoping this will help Sam avoid head trauma like every other gumshoe ends up with. That's for Rob.
Rob, I
Plus
appreciate that. I guarantee that before the day is done, I'm gonna get slapped again. There's no
At least
doubt.
once.
I mean, the broads in this city, no one's safe.
So you guys made it back to Sam's office. You three, Sam, Rex, and Tag, managed to get there a little bit ahead of time, I believe. And then in walked Bryn with Fittich in tow. And I believe the last thing he said was,
no.
Oh, yeah. This is totally a trap.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
and you are now all standing in Sam's office. And Fittich is there with you. He looks tense, but he is not moving. What would you like to do?
Where is it?
What?
The device.
What are you talking about?
We're here to help, Fittich. We're here to help you. The
All
Marleys
right.
are dangerous. They're dangerous people. I don't know what they promised you.
Hey, look. Who are you, man? What are you doing here? What am I doing here?
Look, Fittich, there's two ways this can go. You can help us get the device, and we can help you. Or you can go back to the Morellis and risk the consequences.
Look, man. You've got some of the pieces to this puzzle, but not all of them, all right? The Morellis are gonna clear my slate if I hand over something that they're very interested in. And my slate desperately needs clearing. So I don't know that I need your help, sir.
Look, kid, a clean slate's only good to you if you're alive.
Yeah?
Sorry, I'm new to threatening people. That wasn't clear enough?
Are you... It sounded like perhaps you were implying that a outside party would maybe be killing me? It did not sound like a direct threat coming from you.
Oh, okay.
Did I mistake you, sir?
Yeah, sorry. That's my bad. I was trying to threaten you directly.
So you're saying
I'm
that
saying,
if I
yeah.
don't,
Start talking.
you'll kill me?
Yeah, I'm trying to forward that as a distinct possibility.
All right, so it doesn't look like he just seems standoffish. It's clear he was bamboozled into coming here. So what you guys are getting isn't necessarily like a reticence to tell the truth or anything. It's just like he's a little off his guard. He doesn't seem to know who any of you are. And the most recent was that she did in fact work for the company.
Fittich, look at me right now. Don't I look strange? Don't I look so odd? I hate to tell you this.
Yeah, man.
But there was something in that drink of yours back at the bar. Truth serum.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, I hope it hasn't worn
Oh.
off.
No, we're not going to burn it. So you're saying that you you're introducing the idea that because you were awarded truth serum last time, you were able to get it into his drink?
Well, now that I think about it, the drink did go into his face, so maybe it is sort of a temporary amount, as now he seems to be seeing clearly.
No. I'm just trying to get the time. I'm just trying to make sure that we're lining up the pieces, because I think that that's fine. If she got it in his face and eyes and nose and mouth, it'll be fine. I'm just trying to track. I guess I'm just trying to track the truth serum. So you got truth serum last time. You're burning it, and now Fittich has been drugged. That works for me. Yeah. So he at that says,
I did feel pretty good on the walk over here, and honestly, I really appreciated being able to just float up the stairs instead of walk up them. So, what did you want?
Why don't you tell us the arrangement you have with the Morellis?
All right. Well, I'm a gambling addict. Oh, feels really good to be able to say that, actually. Just get it off of my chest. I'm a gambling addict. Sweet, bro. All right, anyways, I'm a gambling addict, so I'm also really bad at it, and I'm in kind of a cold streak. So I got in pretty deep with the Morellis, and they're not ones to let that kind of thing slide. And I've recently been cut off from my revenue stream, so I had to improvise, and I made them a deal that they had a hard time refusing. So the device that you're speaking about is going to be handed over to them, because at this point, honestly, they're expecting it, and if I don't deliver, they'll definitely kill me. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I was kind of nervous about being in this room with you guys, but honestly, now that everything's out in the open, I feel like it's all kind of manageable,
Well, we're all glad to hear that, honestly. I'm glad
We
you're
also
having a
just
good
tell
day.
us what the nature of this device is.
Well,
What does it do?
I don't really know is the thing. I just heard a ding.
This will help Sam avoid head trauma like every other gumshoe ends up with.
That's the one.
What's up? Thank you, Rob. I assume we're just hearing the robot voice for.
Yeah, we
no,
also
it's
picked
not
up some
rated.
Raiders.
What?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
We picked up some Raiders.
P4 Podcast.
P4
P4 Podcast.
Oh.
Welcome to Void Jumpers. We're a space opera, actual play RPG. We're in the middle of a space noir right now, and one of the main suspects slash person that's supposed to be found is being interviewed by our team of magic and sci-fi empowered detectives. So welcome
Gumshoes,
to
man.
our stream.
Come on.
Private Dicks.
Come on, just say gumshoe. Just let me be a gumshoe.
Okay, you're one gumshoe and four other private dicks.
Okay, I guess I don't want to assume what other people want to be, but it's weird that it's not gumshoe.
I mean, if I had one, I would want to keep it private. So that's fine.
That's fair. All right, so
Little genital humor. So P4 Podcast, we love genital humor here.
all right, so we're in the middle of this. You've got this guy with truth serum, and he seems to be spilling it. What was the last thing you asked him?
I wanted to know what is the nature of the device that you have stolen?
I don't actually know. I just knew. What I did know is that it was very important and probably pretty dangerous, but I don't know if you've caught on, but I'm not all that smart. You know what? That
displays
felt
a
good
little
too.
more
This truth
self-awareness.
serum's very liberating.
I would not have thought you had the self-awareness to say that, but yes, I have noticed that.
Yeah, most people do, unfortunately. But that's okay. Until recently, I've been rich, so I haven't had to worry about it.
Where's the device right now?
It's in my apartment.
Where is your apartment?
It's at the Quiet Arms. It's in the, well, I don't want to talk shit. Actually, you know what? I have truth serum, so yeah, I totally want to talk shit about this place and the part of town you live in. This place is a rat hole, and this part of town, while you do consider it to be retro and quirky, that is entirely on accident and very unappealing. I live in a nicer part of this district. Yeah, it's called the Quiet Arms. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, how detailed do you want me to be?
Well, what do you guys think about us going there right now?
Before we go anywhere, can I just ask you something?
Me?
Yeah. Ooh.
What is this? A hashtag clue? Maybe it'll help this collection of Private Richards out in solving this mystery.
Is that a first clue?
You just got a clue?
It's a clue from Merc, who, Lisa, do you mind if I read this one? What is this? A clue? Maybe it'll help this collection of Private Richards out in solving this mystery. Bravo, Merc. Bravo, Merc Merky.
Thank you, and thank you for the bits, Jay Dunlap.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for the bits, Jay Dunlap.
Thank you.
I think Jay Dunlap is the brains and brawn behind P4 Podcast, I believe.
Oh.
Ooh.
Then
Arrayed
super
in
thank
bits? Winning.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Fittich, in the middle of this, kind of coming off the tail end of you guys getting a clue, Fittich notices something on your desk, Sam, and he loses his train of thought as he is just kind of staring at your desk. And when you look down to see what it is that he's staring at, he's actually staring at the cigarette that Miss Kale stubbed out and left on the edge of your desk. And he
Something
says,
catch your eye there, Sonny?
"You guys are working for my mom, then?"
Not happily.
She's one of the most powerful women in the continuum. Yes.
Yeah, and she makes no attempt to let you forget it. He reaches over and picks up the cigarette butt and holds it up. And at first, it doesn't really look like anything in particular. But then he spins the filter around so that you can see that there is actually a very light gray skull that has been imprinted on it above the band.
Whoa.
And he says, "She's one of the only people that smokes this old brand." And then flicks it away.
Fittich, I gotta say, you said you're not very smart, but that was some ace quality detective work right there.
I'm not gonna lie. I know the smell. I hate it. Also, I'm not pleased to be in your possession because I want nothing to do with my mother. And I can only assume that she's not. I just would imagine that whatever it is you think you're doing is probably not what she's actually hired you to do.
So help us out. We have no great moral allegiance to your mother, but if you want to be in the same boat as us, you got to talk to us. You got to tell us what's going on. You got to tell us why we shouldn't believe her. You got to tell us what we can do to help you. Listen, Fittich,
All right.
if we wanted to just hand you over your mother, we would have done that.
That's fair. Why don't you tell me what she told you or why she hired you, and
No,
maybe I
Fittich,
can...
look around. You are in our office. You are surrounded by the four of us. This isn't a negotiation on those terms.
Well, what
So
else
why
do you
don't
want to
you-
know? I already told you where the thing is that you want.
You said your mother isn't doing what she claims to be doing. So what is she doing?
She hired you to take the device back, yes?
To find you. She's worried about you,
No.
Fittich.
No,
Fittich?
she couldn't be.
Fittich.
If she told you that was only to buy your sympathy, she'd be after the device.
Why does she want it?
because it's hers. I stole it from her.
Listen, if you don't know what it does, why were the Morellis convinced that it would pay off your debts?
My mother's worked for the company for the entire time that I've been alive. I've seen what their technology looks like, and I have an eye for when it shouldn't be in the hands of somebody other than a trained lab professional. That device shouldn't be in my mother's possession. And I stole it because I know it's valuable and I needed a way to pay back my debts.
Fittich, hear me out. If it shouldn't be in your mother's hands because it's dangerous, it probably also shouldn't be in the Morelli's hands. So how about this? What if I could pay off all your debts right here and now in exchange for the device? Would you give it to us if we said we wouldn't give it to your mother?
I personally do not have a problem with that. However, you will need to handle the Morelli situation because they are expecting the device now that they know that I have it. And if I do not turn it over to them, I would imagine. Do you know Ilario the dentist?
Yeah.
Yarius?
Yeah. What?
Is he related to Yario? I've met a Yario.
I believe that your dungeon master might have mispronounced his name last time. But it was definitely the guy I saw you playing cards with at the bar.
Yeah, so that's not Yario.
That is Ilario.
Ilario, got it.
The dentist.
The dentist, yeah.
I imagine
Yeah.
he will have words with me.
Well, does he know what the device is?
No. Look,
So we could technically bring him anything, and then if he's like, oh, this isn't worth enough, then you let us pay off the debt and we keep the actual, double down. You'd also be getting revenge on your mother.
look, I like all of this. I don't care how you fix this, but you should know that the Morellis, while we don't know exactly what the device does, they do know of its existence. They know of its existence because I've already been approached by somebody else who wants to buy it. And it's somebody that the Morellis really don't want it to fall into the hands of.
Third person?
Who offered to buy the device from you?
They didn't state their allegiance, but when they reached over to grab the frosty mug of their beer, I noticed the band of their underwear creep up, and I saw the rebel badge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but if you've been in the city for any longer than 10 minutes, you must have heard something. The Morellis and the rebels, they ain't having fun with each other right now, and they'll do anything to keep a big weapon out of each other's hands.
A weapon, you say?
I might have said that.
I'm
yes.
curious. Fittich, I gotta tell you, in the spirit of being transparent here, a weapon is not an insignificant piece of information.
Here's the deal. It doesn't look like a gun or a knife or a sword.
Many things don't.
I agree. It looks like a data pad. I can only imagine that most anything the company makes can be weaponized. And if that's the way the Morellis see it, then that's all they care about.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
not asking you to have a treatise on the nature of weapons in modern civilization. I'm saying if you know it's a weapon, open with "it's a weapon" instead of playing dumb. Now, enough yapping about it. Let's go get this thing.
All right.
I think I
We'll
should
help
stay
you.
here.
All right. We'll go to the apartment. We're going to get the device. All right. We will keep or destroy the device. It won't go to Kale. It won't go to the Morellis. All right. We will handle your debt so that you don't get killed. Team, what do you think?
I think we can't let this guy out of our sight just yet.
Look,
Well, then I think we should split up.
Yeah, why are we trying to pay off this kid's debt? He seems like kind of a tool.
Well,
Is that 'cause he picked
like-
you up
I
from the
think
bar?
you forget.
You around?
well, because
Sorry.
here's the thing. He made a bad choice. I don't, it's one thing to pull the rug out from underneath him, but it's not ours, so it's equally us stealing from Kale as it is for him. So the idea of punishing him with death because we're then stealing it from him, that seems not fair.
Look at this kid. And Tag kind of just like gestures behind him to him, like, you honestly think that we stopped this brilliant mastermind from executing this caper? This guy was getting drunk, yapping his mouth in the parlor. All right? I don't know why Kale hired us. He seems to suggest that it's not the rules that he did. Line of defense, stopping this kid from going through with this plan is absurd. If if it's about clearing his debts, I think Kale has no shortage of funds if she wants to do that.
Well,
I'm not saying we throw these kids to the wolves.
All right, so what do you recommend then if you don't want to get the device and keep it for us and not give it to the Morellis and not give it to Kale? I don't know. You just let him run his course because the Morellis are going to kill him if he doesn't bring that device in. 100%.
Take him with us. We don't know I don't think we have enough information. Let's take the kid with us, get this device, see what's going on from there.
Look, I'm pretty sure the Morellis would have had me tailed leaving the bar. They said I could drink on their tab, but then I was supposed to go to my apartment and bring the device back. If they see me heading towards my apartment and leaving in any other direction than the parlor, the jig is up. Now, if you promise you can keep me safe, bro, you can get into my apartment and bring the device back here, and we can do whatever you want with it. But if you can't settle my debts, you better give me a ride off planet.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna, it depends. We also should maybe talk about this privately, but we're gonna have to figure out this. Okay, regardless of all other things we need to figure out. Step one, let's go get the device. Either all of us or some of us.
It is about 9:15. And you have a standing date with Nadia at the Glamorous Fowl, which is just down the street. So it's not going to take long to get there.
All right. Well, I have to book.
Sorry, Sam. Keep going.
I gotta get to this meetup with Nadia. Meet back here, rendezvous back here. Do you want me to try to swing by his place after? You guys want to keep one eye on him here? The group of you want to go? I mean,
Jenny steps in. The door's been ajar, so your secretary, Jenny, has been able to hear most everything that's going on. She's holding a large, it looks like what would be a pump-action shotgun, except it is most certainly a void blaster with a large spread. And she just racks it and says, "You know, Sam, if you guys got errands to run, I can keep an eye on the kid."
Yeah, that works great. I walk over to her. Why don't you guys order from that Chinese place? Keep him mellow and treat yourself. You get that noodle thing that you like so much, and
chow mein. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I gotta go. You guys. All right, maybe one person should come with me. No, I'll go meet Nadia. 3 of you should go get the device just to make sure that it gets transported safely, especially if the Morellis see you coming out of here.
Can do.
Okay. What order would you like to do these scenes? We can either have the Nadia meeting first, or we can have the Fittich apartment scene.
Fittich apartment, man. I'm eager to see it.
Okay. All right. So he does live in a slightly better part of town. It is upscale, but it is also a little
I think we should try and
seedy.
disguise ourselves a little bit more before we exit the building, because he's given us reason to believe that we ourselves might be being tailed.
Sure. There's also multiple ways out. I think that Sam would not have a hard time. You should disguise yourselves because that's fun. But Sam could also give you the lowdown on how to slip out of his office unseen.
Yeah, either go up.
I didn't know I could wear my hat upside down, guys.
Wait, who is that? What have you done with Trin?
Hi!
Hi.
We have an in-game raider.
Give me all
wanna
your
go in
bits.
disguise?
That's not a pirate. That's not a pirate.
It's like a buccaneer hat. No, it's what is it? It's like kind of like a 10-gallon hat almost.
It's so many different hats in one. I think that's why we're struggling here. It is all of the hats. It's the platonic hat.
Wow, it's a shape-shifting hat. I love it.
Yeah.
No matter what form you take, the hat can go with you.
Do you guys want to go in disguise? Or do you want to just raid Sam's closet and all put on a private eye outfit?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that he's got a couple. What? Sorry, Sam.
Nobody
it is
wear
your
the
closet.
tux. Nobody wear the tux. That is for special events only. It is not.
He's also
for
got
your
like some
amusement.
fake mustaches that we can
For
throw
sure.
on.
There's just like a couple different ratty trench coats. Jenny has like a different secretary outfit for Bryn to put on. And there is some fake mustaches and a perm wig.
Is this a spot that Sam uses as kind of his costume chest? Are there some pretty elaborate disguises in here, or is it very just kind of what we have lying around?
I think that's a question for Sam.
I agree.
It's all like, mix and match, but you find that there's a lot of different overcoats. It's not just a disguise chest. It's literally Sam's wardrobe.
Gotcha. Well, here's why I ask. Sorry, Casey, please.
No, please. No, please.
I don't really have a plan for this, but I just have a gut instinct that I want to follow. I think that Tag wants to dress up as one of the sort of robot butlers that he's seen around the boy planet. Is that feasible?
It is. You'll have to get into some shenanigans on the first floor to get some of the final pieces of that costume. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's just sort of following his gut. I think what's happening narratively is that Tag is not the greatest at this, and just he was like, oh, we're doing disguises, and so he's thought of this very elaborate disguise and is really leaning into it, despite the fact that it may be creating more problems than it's worth.
I will also attempt to pull any sort of potential tail off of you guys. I think the Morellis, if they came here, they'll know that I'm in this building. So when I go out, I will put on a bit of a show, let's say, to maybe attract some attention by accident.
Nice. I love that Lisa has put on glasses, which now renders her, per movie conventions, a completely different human being.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Lisa? What? Should we be dressing the kid up as a robot?
There you go.
Who? Fittich?
Yeah, and bringing him with us?
He's
Stuffing him in a
requesting
robot
that he stays here. If he's going to go along with this, he's doing it in exchange for your protection. So he would much rather hide in the office while you guys do this.
Okay.
He does say, he does pull out his a key to his apartment, and he says, this won't get you in the front door of the building, but just tell the doorman that you're there for me, and it will get you into my apartment. I have a line prepared. The device is hidden in my apartment in a shoebox with little pink hearts on the lid.
Okay.
Number 302, third floor.
All right, I'm gonna head down to the first floor.
Okay. When you get out there, you do see a couple suspicious characters on the other side of the street. When they realize it's you, one of them picks up a newspaper and the other one starts looking around like they're trying to figure out what street they're on. But it is some lower level Morelli goons, nobody by name that you'd notice, but you know the look.
All right, I take out a cigarette and I light it with a deliberately shaky hand, just a little bit. And then I kind of look around and then do a casual walk, away from the building, as if I'm trying to blend in with the crowd by not blending in with the crowd. And and try not to look over my shoulder anytime soon to alert them that I obviously know that they're there.
Sure.
And I head towards my meeting.
Roll for me. Are we using old stats for you or new stats for you? I think maybe Lisa's the only one who hasn't got the new stats on her doc. I think this is gonna be a charisma roll.
Okay, you got it. That's an 8.
Okay. You see that the one who has the newspaper folds it up, puts it away under his arm, and starts to stroll down also very casually, like on the other side of the street, matching pace with you. But the one who's looking around as if he can't figure out what street he's on does not leave. You have the choice now to be satisfied with one or to make another choice that will hopefully rope in the second guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to rope in the second guy by blowing my cover and breaking into a run when I realize that he's on to me, and just complete panic.
Oh yeah, sure. Just roll plus dex real quick, just to give me an idea of how fast and nimble you're gonna be.
This one was a 9.
Okay, yeah, cool. You're able to. The bar that you're headed to is not very far away. It's really just a couple blocks down the same street that your office is on. But you're able to just duck and weave through a couple different alleys. The moment that you break into a run, you do see the newspaper guy say, "Hey," over his shoulder, and his buddy turns around, and the two of them are now sprinting after you as you're weaving through the alleys. And you have pulled away both of the goons. So when our disguised heroes walk outside, waiting for Tag, who has disappeared into a cleaning closet that Sam pointed him in the direction of to complete his costume, there is no tail waiting for them outside. Tag, when you walk out the doors, what do you look like?
It's very Jetsons-y. It's almost like I've essentially repurposed one of those old Oscar the Grouch trash cans to put around my midsection and have like duct tubing as arms, just kind of like your classic mom needs to make you a robot costume with $10 and what's lying around the house.
Okay. I'd like to give it an effectiveness rating. Okay. So will you tell me a skill that you would have either used to construct it or sell it performance-wise, and then just give me a roll? Wait, you're on mute.
I'm on mute.
You're back.
And now he's gone.
Oh no.
But he really blended in with that costume. He is a robo butler. Just waiting for his next mission.
Helpful. And,
can I say something?
Waiting for instruction.
While we're waiting.
Yeah.
Okay. Before I leave, I'm grabbing a crumpled sweater in the corner. And I'm going to hand it to him. And I'm going to say, "Here, I told you that you could air your clothes out. Here's a sweater you could put on. I hope it fits."
I accept your gift, but I am devastated because I felt that we had a connection, and I thought that you were bringing me back to your place. And while that is technically true, this was not the evening that I had in mind.
Well, if it's any constellation, I think you're a swell person. And if we're being totally truthful, I'm actually in training to be the summoner of the fire planet, so it probably wouldn't have worked out anyway.
He says, "Yeah, right. And I'm in training to be the summoner of some other equally notable planet." Right.
I grabbed my staff.
Holy shit. And he kneels.
Would you like me to anoint you?
Is that an option? Wait a second. You did actually tap him on the shoulder with your staff?
Yeah.
Just so we're clear. Position before? What exactly did you just bestow upon me?
I bestowed on you. You have become a supporter of the Fire Planets, and this is a token of our gratitude, and I will remember it for always.
Oh man, that is so freaking cool, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, usually I have a badge, but I'm fresh out, so this is all I have.
I appreciate it.
Sorry about the drink. I really am. It was a part of the ruse. We just kind of went with it.
Honestly, that was probably the third drink I've had thrown in my face today, so no harm, no foul.
Okay.
Well, I'm a bit of a misogynist, and that doesn't go over well, so what can you do?
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll work on that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you leave and you go outside, and Tag graces you. And Tag, tell us what they see walking out the front door.
Oh no, did you not hear my description before of trash can and the tube arms and the whole thing? None of that?
We heard the trash can. We heard all of that. Oh yeah, sorry. You're going to be rolling dice. Sorry, I forgot where we had left off. You're going to be rolling a dice to kind of get a base level effectiveness of your costume. Personally, to me, the fiction of you guys being able to pull off complete disguises with just wearing a fake mustache or having this fool people the way that it currently looks works for me. So instead of us making the decision, we're just going to get a dice roll to see how effective it is.
I decided to roll charm because that makes sense to me that it would be like a crafting, a deception roll, and it's a 9.
Okay. I think that with charm, you're selling it more on the back end. So you're going to make up for the costumes deficiencies with your performance of being a robot butler and your butt. Okay. So you got a partial success, which means that as long as you don't do anything outside of a robot butler's normal actions, nobody's going to be looking too closely at you.
Okay.
You guys follow some directions that Sam gave you before you left, and you head towards Fittish's apartment, which is a couple blocks over and a bit to the north. It is in an apartment building that's closer to the water. It is... Let's see what I have prepared for Fittish's apartment.
While you're looking that up, I want to give a big shout out to Corey Doe for gifting 5 tier 1 subs to the chat. That's totally rock and roll. Thank you so much, and thanks for being a part of Void Jumpers.
That's totally
we
rock
love
and roll.
Corey. It's Cornelia. Corey. Yay.
Hey!
Wait, Corey Moore?
Yeah.
No way! Hey!
Whoa!
Hey,
whoa,
thank you, Corey.
Whoa! Corey just subbed tier 1 for 10 months.
Hey!
Bingo, bango.
Bingo,
We're going to
Wow.
give you 10 months of dynamite content once a week.
Wow.
Thank
Big
you, Corey.
old heart hands for that.
It feels
Okay.
very like, I guess that's where we are in the pandemic right now in terms of social interaction, that I feel very... I was about to be like, it's so nice to see Corey. I obviously did not see her, but it was like, oh, it's so nice to, she like, it's just, we're all very lonely, and it's nice to see or even hear of people that we like a lot. I'm a big fan of Corey's.
Oh, she says because I love you.
Hey.
We loves you, Corey.
Yes, we do, Corey. We love you.
Yeah, we love you so much.
We love you so much.
Everyone else
Okay.
had
We
their
were
finger
already
on, like,
deeply weird before the pandemic, and it's just making it worse.
Now we're just broken.
Yeah.
Okay. Fitich keeps a room in one of the more glamorous parts of town. He stays on the 3rd floor, as he told you, of the Quiet Arms. It is a probably 10-story building. There's balconies that line every side. It is an old... You would say it's like... Sam, you would recognize it as an older type of architecture in some of the more elite neighborhoods where money is spent to preserve the finer things. These types of buildings are a bit more common, where yours is kind of like fabricated materials, quick construction. This is brick and mortar, old materials, expensive materials. When you approach, you can see that a lone doorman stands sentry outside. What would you like to do?
This is us.
This is you.
We'd like to do a scene from This Is Us, please.
Let me get the
Season 1,
tissues.
episode 3.
I mean, I could still pretend to be Ginger, his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, it's up to you. I mean, he just said that the key isn't going to get you in the front door. So I think your only obstacle here is talking to the doorman, and you're able to do that however you'd like. Ginger?
Doing it.
As you approach, the doorman sidles in a diagonal so that he's informally standing between you and the front door, but he's not making any kind of tough guy movements. It's more of a polite. Yes, madam, may I help you?
I looked through my purse and I'm like, shoot! Where is it? I knew I'd put it in here. Gosh, I'm supposed to grab something from my boyfriend, Fittich, and he gave me a spare key and I can't find it. Is there any way you could let me up to his room?
Roll a charisma check.
Is that charm?
Yes.
That's bad. That's bad.
What did you roll? 5? Okay. You, yeah, we'll mark an experience. He says, ma'am, unless written confirmation is given beforehand, I'm not supposed to let anyone in without a door key.
I have written confirmation right here. Let me just retrieve it. And Tag starts like going beep 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 beep, as if he's gonna like. And there's he like retracts one arm through the tubing so that the tube arm is still hanging out. It's got like a hockey glove on the end of it, and he like puts it inside. There's a little flap in his chest part, and he like just starts to poke his hand out as if he's gonna produce a receipt. And then he realizes that he still doesn't ultimately have a piece of paper, so he has to improvise, and he just short. Printing jam.
Excuse me, madam.
I start really like spitting, salivating on this guy, and I grab out with my other arm on his shoulder.
He freezes. He freezes when you have your arm on him. He doesn't even try and get away. He just tries to stay still. He says, "Ma'am, is this automaton in your service?"
Yes. It's actually Fittich's, and there's some components to fix him up in his apartment, and so he sent me up here to grab it. So you see the predicament that we're in.
I'm so sorry that I have failed you, Ginger. I am an embarrassment to you and Fittich and the promising relationship that you both have. I will initiate self-destruct procedure out of shame.
No, Clive, don't do it. Don't do it, Clive.
10.
Oh, God, give me the key. Please, you gotta get in.
7.
He's just kind of like caught up in all of this. He knows what a self-destruct grabbing his arm, and he says, "Ma'am, I do not feel comfortable with the situation at all, and if he is about to explode, I would ask you that you at least remove his arm from me so I can get a clear distance away."
Do it! Remove my arm! Chop me into pieces for the ways in which I failed you!
Oh, God. All right, I'd remove his arm for sure.
Is your regular arm still inside your...
I'll like retract the other arm so that she can karate chop the thing off.
It karate chops off, and somehow the glove stays on his hand or his shoulder, and he says, "If you'll excuse me, madam, I'm going to get out of the way of this destruct sequence." And he starts to back away and move around the side of the building. You can see that he's reaching for like an old school walkie-talkie and saying, come in, a rogue automaton," and then he is around the side. So you now have access to the front door, but it seems like this fellow might be calling in some backup.
Okay, so we can get in. Tag, you might have to take off your your disguise and go back to being Tag.
Oh,
And maybe you could just leave the robot stuff on the ground and they'll think you blew up.
okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess I just.
Do you have clothes on under that?
We just. What? No, it wouldn't. It would get my clothes all sweaty.
Oh, God.
I just figured the robot was such a. We've had such unqualified successes with him so far. I don't know why we would abandon this nearly bulletproof ruse.
We could get in and out before he calls back up, sure.
No, I'm just playing. The robot thing is obviously coming up short. Okay, so
it's not coming up short. I just don't want you to get carted away to robot prison.
Oh, but then they'd have somebody on the inside to lead the rebellion.
Okay.
They've been looking for that. Okay, so you approach the door.
I'll shed the robot gear.
It is locked.
On the front like that. I think that's a good idea, Bryn.
And you're nude?
No, I've got. I mean, like, I don't have my.
You're the one who said that you didn't want your clothes on underneath because they'd get sweaty.
Well, yeah, because they're clothes from that movie studio, and I want to return them in good condition.
I can loan you my scarf.
Yeah, but I'm still. I would love that. How do you propose? You mean you want me to wear it as a scarf?
Well, if you need to cover your naked flesh, you could at least have a scarf.
Yeah, my neck is sensitive about, but how you put on the scarf.
Okay. So you just pile the robot costume or scatter it, I imagine, as if it had just exploded on the stoop area of the Quiet Arms. And then you guys approach the door, and it is locked.
Fuck.
Rex, don't you have skills from the company to lockpick?
Rex?
No.
So I'll take this opportunity because I know that I've been struggling with this to just reiterate that we appreciate y'all's patience. We're on a new platform tonight. I can't hear half the stuff that Jesse says. It's possible that Trin can't hear us right now.
Okay. Well, then, until we get Trin back, the door is locked. And you can hear some bushes shaking on the other side of the apartment as the doorman's voice comes around faintly. You can tell that you've got some time and says, I'm surprised we didn't hear the explosion, but they said that their automaton was going to... And we cut to Sam, who is approaching through the alleys, his rendezvous at the Glamorous Fowl. You have yet to shake the Morellis. Would you like to before you get to the bar?
I would. And before I get really into character, I just want to say how delighted I am that now I have also seen Tag lose his pants as a robot.
Naked as a robot?
Yeah, he.
You're not totally naked, y'all. This is.
I mean, as a robot.
He's, adhering to decency here.
Yeah, I mean,
he's just wearing some he's got long johns, and a top.
Right, your gears aren't showing, but
my gears aren't showing. Yeah,
as a robot, you're kind of naked.
That's our second male genitalia crack tonight. What did we say? We love male genitalia cracks.
Whoa,
we love male genitalia here.
And butt cracks.
It can go either way.
I'm so glad you're back on audio to say that. Yes.
Yeah.
And butt crack.
All right, so you got to shake these goons. What do you want to do, Sam?
All right. I think got to go back out to a main street.
Okay.
Since they're on me, and look for Copper Top.
Okay. So most of the law enforcement that happens on Void, as is the case in most places around the Continuum system, is going to be factions of company security that are trained specifically for being beat cops, basically. But they are privately in the best interest of the Continuum system.
Right,
so
that's sticky. That sounds sticky. I'm gonna go with the old restaurant dine and ditch. So I pop into like a brick and mortar restaurant.
Okay.
You know,
There's like a little Chinese joint, the one that you told Jenny to order from.
yeah.
You know, like maybe a block away from the Glamorous Fowl, where eventually you will be headed. So you duck into a little Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, I go up to the counter and I take out Kale's black card and I just order the whole menu.
Okay. The person sees the black. If you had done this without showing the card first, there would be some suspicion. But everybody knows what that little card is. And so the moment you have it out there, like a busboy comes back from around the corner with a platter of tea and is like pouring you something. Somebody's bringing you a warm cloth, and the person at the register is just like, yes, whatever you want, whatever you want.
Yeah. So I want this delivered, and I give my address. And while I'm waiting, you just have it delivered there. I would like to pop into the back and use your bathroom.
Absolutely.
All right. I go to the back and I look for a rear exit out of the restaurant.
There is one. So you know that one of those fellows, the one with the newspaper under his arm, who had been closest to you, had run past the front window while you were ordering and then sauntered back knowing that you were inside. When you open the back door, you see that the other goon is cracking his knuckles and says, "Yeah, I heard about you, Gumshoe."
Oh, wow. You haven't skipped any meals. You're one of the biggest guys I've seen in a long time. I got some food on order if you're interested. Just wanted to make sure that you weren't out here going hungry.
Well, no, I'm actually out here to kick your ass. But maybe afterwards I'll stop in for a bite.
And he starts to lumber towards you.
Okay, hold on. Let's not get uncivil so quickly.
As you do that and step back, the door behind you closes and locks the way that a lot of exterior doors will at the back of restaurants.
Okay, all right. Look, we don't need any trouble here. Why would you be sitting after me? I haven't done anything. I just ordered some Chinese food. Just got out of my apartment. We don't have any.
Do I look like the types of guy who would question my orders? Or have any idea why I need to do anything or care?
You were sent after me specifically?
They said follow anybody that comes out of that place. You're the anybody, and I'm following you, mister.
All right. Well, if that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be. You mind if I have a smoke?
I don't mind.
Smoke for you?
Hey, why not?
All right. I hand him over the cigarette, and as soon as he reaches for it, I go for an uppercut. Just a big old private dick, a haymaker.
Okay. He is expecting this to happen. He actually grabs the cigarette out of your hand and begins to dodge this, but why don't you roll kick some ass and find out if you can get him anyway?
Oh, Sam is not tough, so... Oh, that is a 5, sir. That is a 5.
All right, mark your experience. He actually leans back and catches your hand underneath his chin and just gives you an appropriately painful squeeze. You can hear your knuckles pop. He does not break any bones, but he does have you now. And he says, "Listen, mister, yous and me gonna go see the boss now."
Okay, I would like to object to this offer and propose a counter offer. How about you let me go and forget you ever saw me?
What? No, I'll get in trouble.
All right, well, it's worth a shot.
I suppose it is. It's a long shot, but yeah.
I mean, what would you do if you were in my position? I mean, I'm not going to shoot you.
He starts dragging you down the alley. He says, "First of all, if I was in your position, I would definitely shoot you. Secondly, I guess I'd do what you're doing now, but I'm me, you're you, so I got to play my cards, you play yours."
Okay,
I got the high ace.
I take the gun with the blanks out then.
Okay.
And I level it at him.
He's still got your hand, so you kind of like poke it into his belly. He looks down and he looks back up at you and says, Hey. I get it.
Yeah.
I said I get it. But is this what you want?
I think the real question is this what you want? 2 slugs in the belly for some guy who the Morellis are gonna be just as mad for you bringing in? They know me. Sam Hagen? I mean, look at this face. You know this face. I've worked for the Morellis for years. Not as closely as you have, but I'm not some schlub just, trying to duck out on Ilario or, Caesar the Bat. I was just there this afternoon.
He lets go of your hand. It seems to be much more about the gun, bless you, than it does about what you're saying necessarily. It wouldn't surprise him that anybody knows the names of some of the key players of the Morelli crime family. In this neighborhood, they are local celebrities. They are infamous, as it were. And he does back up and he says, hey, I don't want any trouble.
Yeah, you don't want any trouble. I kind of push him back a little bit with the gun.
He puts his hands up on his head and he kneels down and says, you know that the heat's gonna come crashing down. They hear a gunshot in this alley. I could have popped you when I decided not to.
All right, I just start backing up. Like, yeah, but you couldn't have popped me because they wanted you to bring me in alive, see? If they wanted me dead, they wouldn't have sent you. They would have sent somebody else. See?
I don't know who you are, Buster. I was just told to follow whoever left that building. Roll a dexterity check.
Oh, that is a 10.
He, in the middle of that sentence of saying, I don't even know who you are, he leans back and grabs a void blaster from a ankle holster. It's a little guy, just a little baby, and fires at you. You have just enough time to duck behind a dumpster. Unlike your very loud revolver, this one is quite quiet. And he now has shot 2 more times, and you hear the void bolts bing, bing, off of the dumpster, but you are able to get out of the way.
No, I can't get shot. I can't get shot by his void blaster. No, a penalty worse than death. All right, we're still in the alley. I fire off 2 shots into the air to try to attract some attention from anybody passing by.
You do that. He tries to pop your hand as it reaches up, but the gun that he's using seems to be a very intimate weapon that isn't doing well at even medium range. And 2 more void bolts bounce off the bricks down the alley. And not long after your shots ring out, you do hear like a whoop, 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 whoop. And you can see that there is like the very faint flashing lights, as if somebody just flicked on some blue and reds on the street, but their power is just like not reaching all the way back to the alley. You assume that they're going to be approaching on foot. He starts to back away down the alley. You can see underneath the dumpster, and he fires 1 more void bolt, and then you hear somebody in response to that little pew say, what's going on back here?
There's a guy with a gun. He's shooting. I just kind of hide behind the dumpster. I think he was trying to rob me. Help!
You hear somebody yell, stay where you are. And then you can hear feet scuff as the fella who's been trying to attack you runs down the alley. And then 2 more forms. You're kind of at like a T-junction. You're in this dumpster behind the building, and there's another outlet. 2 other forms run down the alley after this person. And you wait there for a second, and it is dark, so you can see that the flashing lights are still where they started. They have not moved, but it does seem to be quiet.
All right, I will stand up and casually walk towards the edge of the alley.
Okay. When you get out to the edge of the alley, you can see that parked near the other side of the restaurant, there's a little, there's like single person electric cars that are there's
like little pod cars.
One of those little pod cars. There's one of those with like a turret seat. It does not have a weapon on it, but like a spinning megaphone seat on the back, and there's just a company logo on the side, and there's just a little blue and red light spinning up top. But whoever was in it is gone. They have run down the alley to chase that other person.
Great. I will continue on to my rendezvous.
Okay. Sam walks across the street towards the glamorous Fowl, and we cut back to the Quiet Arms, where you are faced with a locked door, and you can hear coming around the side the doorman who so recently left. You think you probably have about 45 seconds before he arrives. Okay. What do you want to do?
Tag goes, oh God, there's oil everywhere. Oh, look at the circuits. Oh, God. Oh, I can see his eyes dimming. Miss, help, miss, are you okay? And I start kind of sort of shaking Bryn lightly by the shoulders.
Okay. You are waiting for them to come back around?
Assuming that you said he's on his way back?
Yeah, I figured you had got time for one action, but one action before he arrives. But this sounds like this is something you want him to see when he comes around the corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if Bryn has an action, so by all means.
With your shouting, you can hear that their footsteps do. In fact, he comes around the corner, still yelling into the walkie-talkie, saying, "Where are you guys? Oh my God!" And he stands there and he's looking at all of the robot parts strewed around, and he says, "Miss, I'm so sorry. I know that automaton companions are difficult to come by and quite expensive. I hope I didn't have something to do with this. Are you okay?" And then he looks over to you, Tag. Tell us again what you're wearing. You're wearing long johns?
Yeah.
Okay. And he says,
and it
"Is this man bothering you?"
Colorful purple
yeah,
scarf.
I'm accessorized with a colorful scarf.
He says, "Is this man bothering you?"
No, he witnessed the robot blowing up, which was what I was trying to stop from happening, but you wouldn't let me in the building. So now I've got to explain to Fittich why he lost his robot.
He is not going to be happy about that.
This was
and you know who
robot?
his mom is, don't you?
You could see the color draining from this doorman's face, and he says, "I just want to be clear that I did not choose the actions I took. I was following the guidelines, very strict guidelines of the apartment of the Quiet Arms and visitor policy."
I'm sure Miss Kale will take that under advisement.
I think
that was sarcasm,
I could,
in case you didn't catch that.
I picked up on it because I've heard she's a treacherous woman. Look, I will certainly try and get the I can get maintenance out here to collect the pieces of your discarded automaton. I'd be happy to let you inside to handle your business while we quickly gather these parts. And my sincerest apologies. He looks again to Tag and says, I'm sorry, sir. I'm not entirely sure how you fit into this equation.
Well,
he saved me from getting injured. He pushed me out of the way. I have to now take him inside, make him a cup of tea, and calm him down. That was horrific.
This strangely accessorized man is a hero.
Right.
Oh, shucks. I'm no hero. I'm just doing what anyone would do in the circumstance, which is following their heart and not some prescribed guidebook of the job.
That cuts deep, sir, especially since we are right now talking about my income possibly being terminated because I misstepped around someone's mother who happens to have a position of power and in some way or another would then be able to use that power to get a doorman who's really just here to make an honest buck fired. But hey, if that's your thing, I don't live in this part of town. My building doesn't have a doorman. Just the other week, somebody stole the milk off of my doorstep.
Sir.
Well, that's terrible.
Yeah, one, that's awful. Nobody likes milk stolen off of their doorstep. But two, nobody's talking about firing you. These two kind women said that I was a hero, and I was just explaining that a hero is only someone who responds to humans when humans are in distress.
And I put an arm on his shoulder and I say, you have an opportunity to be a
I
hero.
don't know what your relation is.
He looks from one of you to the other and he says, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little out of my element on this one. We rarely have any trouble here. So I'm going to make an exception, and I am going to focus on the needs of the people and follow my heart rather than the prescribed order of operations for the doorman here. And I'm going to... he pulls out a key ring and he's unlocking... it's actually more of like a scanner. The key that Fittich gave you too is also a key card. He waves a little key card in front of the door and opens one of the double doors and says, I'll have maintenance come by and gather the pieces of your automaton. Please, why don't we just forget this ever happened?
All right, but we can carry our own robot parts. Maybe we can put them back together up in the apartment.
I wouldn't want to get in your way.
Thank you so much.
So you guys take like 3 minutes and you're just all walking around picking up Tag's shitty robot costume.
Pieces of trash. Very obviously pieces of trash.
And you guys gather it up and you kind of distribute the load and he hands off what he helped you gather. And you walk inside. He says, the elevator here will take you to the 3rd floor. Mr. Fittich Kale lives in room 302.
Of course.
Again, I'm terribly sorry. Okay, yes.
Thank you, Kermit. Thank you.
You're welcome. The voice did kind of end up there, didn't it?
Sorry again about your milk, sir.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I don't want to presume. You did mention something about a cup of tea, which is the universal thank you for saving someone's life from an exploding robot, and I will take you up on that.
Absolutely.
You can see the doorman take a half step forward and raise a hand as though he's going to make an issue of another stranger entering, but he does stop himself and look away. And you are admitted into the quiet arms. The elevator takes you up to the 3rd floor, and we cut back to Sam, who is now strolling into the glamorous Fowl. It is about 9:32 p.m., Sam, as you enter a bar where has-been jazz artists spend the last of their days being underappreciated. You know that they also happen to make the best old-fashioned in town. There's red vinyl booths, a very low light, and a hazy atmosphere. Nobody notices you when you walk in deliberately. That was a strange way to write that sentence. Everyone in there deliberately does not notice you walk in. It is clear that they are making an effort to respect everyone else's privacy. It's that kind of joint.
I take a quick glance around and see if Nadia is there yet.
You actually see 2 familiar faces. Nadia is sitting at a booth that you usually share with her when you do have your little meetings. She sees you walk in and she gives you a little waggle of the finger. And then you see sitting at the bar back towards you a familiar silhouette of Hudson Poole. He is a cop friend of yours, or a company cop, as they are called. But he did not see you walk in. But Nadia is waving you over.
All right. I'll walk over to Nadia.
Cool. When you sit down, you see that she's still wearing her work clothes. She's got a trench coat like yours. It's a little bit more form-fitting and a little bit more expensive. She's also got on a white button-down, a bow tie that's been undone, and kind of a Newsies hat that's on the table. In it is her press card, a pack of cigarettes, and a Zippo. She signals the bartender, and not long after, an old-fashioned is delivered to you. And she says, "Wow, Sammy. Where the hell you been?"
I've been off-world. Where you been? How's the Daily Independent?
we're got a lot more words than we got space for on the front page these days. It's been a hustle. I've been grinding, Sam. Grinding real hard. Could have used you. I got myself into a couple pinches, managed to get myself out, but it would have been a lot easier if I had my boy around.
I don't know. You seem like you got by just fine without me.
Yes, but my life is easier at times with you.
Oh, that is true. You always did have a knack for getting us into trouble.
I heard you've been in trouble, Sam. You were sniffing around the company a lot long before you left, and word on the street is they caught up to you. I heard that your little office got ramshackled by Jenny.
Oh, Jenny told you that.
Well, I stopped by a couple times, left a couple messages for you. I thought you were avoiding me until she told me that, well, over a couple drinks, she thought maybe you finally got pinched.
Yeah, no. I'm still in. So what's this about? You've called more than once. This can't be just a say hi and have a cocktail, can it?
It so rarely is, Sam. No. I've been working on a story, and it's a hard nut to crack. You heard about these rebels? How long you been back?
Let's see. Hours.
Okay. Well, I'm sure that you've heard a little bit about the rebels. I've been digging. I've been trying to do... I'm trying to find out the who's who of these rebels because they're a relatively new presence in town and they're making a big splash. And the ripples from said splash are starting to affect the city hall beat, the crime beat, the housing beat, you name it. Everybody's starting to get stories that are circling around these rebels, and I'm just trying to figure out who they are. And the little bit that I have found out is very interesting, and I thought maybe with some of your contacts, you'd be able to help me out.
Yeah, I could probably do that. Is this...
Well, the thing is, Sam, it seems like a lot of them are ex-company, and the company's doing everything in their power to make sure that nobody puts those pieces together, if you know what I mean.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
And since you've had your nose so close to the company's armpits these days, I thought maybe you'd be able to get me a list of names, maybe a list of places or somebody I could talk to, because what is the name of her? The Daily Independent. She says, you know, Sam, the Independent's not necessarily anti-company, but we sure aren't pro-company. And if these rebels got more up their sleeve than some random acts of violence, it might be nice for them to have an outlet for their message. Now, I'd want to vet them and make sure that, well, even I felt comfortable putting some of their words out there. But if they're making waves, Sam, I think they deserve a chance.
Yeah, I think I might be able to help you out there.
Okay. Just be careful, though. The Morellis, they ain't too keen on these rebels, and I've been in this city a long time, and I know you have too, and we've seen some hard times, but it feels like we're on the verge of something. These two groups, they're at each other's throat in a way that makes me nervous, and you know this about me, Sammy. I don't get nervous.
Well, we'll just have to be extra careful then.
She actually raises her glass at that, and she says, well, we'll do our best.
Yeah, to not end up at the bottom of the sea.
She takes a little cheers, and she takes a sip. Is there anything else that you want to talk to Nadia about? She goes on a little bit more about what she's been looking into. She said that she has hit a couple walls trying to figure out who exactly the rebels are, specifically because it looks like, A, they are protecting their own identity, and anytime she finds any leads that lead her back to the company, they all end up being very, very purposeful dead ends.
and that she just elaborates a bit more on the tension between the Morelli family and the rebels, saying that they are what was a Cold War is starting to escalate in something a bit more temperate.
Yeah, nothing jumps off the top of my head in relation to Nadia or her leads on the rebels, but I will make note of the connection to the corporation, and maybe there's an angle there with Fittich that I'll consider.
Cool. You guys make a little like unofficial agreement that she would make it worth your while to get her any information that you can on the rebels, and have you finish your drinks kind of in a pleasant, familiar like. You actually do maybe tell her a little bit about where you've been without all of the specifics, and she tells you what it's been like in the city, and it's a nice little chat. And we cut back to the elevator doors as they open on the 3rd floor of the Quiet Arms.
Nice.
You find his room. Number 302. The door is locked, but you have a key. When you open it,
I'd like to check around real quick, just in the hall and around the door, to see if there's any evidence that it's been tampered with, opened, that there's someone maybe setting up here to wait inside or in the hallway.
Yeah, sure. Actually, roll investigate a mystery.
That's lore, right?
Yeah.
Or sharp. Well, wow, a miraculous 10.
Cool. I will answer that first question that you have. When you do stop to take a look, you do find that there is, in fact, scratch marks as though somebody was unscrewing the key card panel and slipped with the screwdriver. The key card panel is on and seems to be functioning, but it does look like it has been tampered with, and another one of the screws actually seems to be stripped and not put in all the way.
I just let my buddies know to be on high alert.
Okay. So you have 2 more questions that you can ask me. As we are going into this next segment, you can hold on to them and use them moving forward. Or if there's anything else you'd like to know before you enter, you are able to do so as well.
I'll hold on.
Okay. The key card does let you into the room. When you open it up, you can see that it's actually a lamp that's been knocked over and is kind of at half capacity. You see that the place has been tossed. Every drawer has been pulled out and overturned. Every closet and cabinet has been left open. Their contents are spread all over the hardwood floor of what would usually be a very chic, very clean apartment. What would you like to do?
Well, he said it was in a box, a shoebox with little hearts on it. That seems like something that would be found pretty easily if it was out in the open. So maybe it's under a floorboard or behind somewhere tricky.
When you walk into the room, you can see that most places have been checked, but why don't you roll? I think you could actually burn one of Tag's questions if you'd like, to get pointed in the direction. With the idea that you're looking for, would you like to do that? That's not my call.
Go for it, Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowing that the place was broken into and obviously turned over, you start looking in less obvious places. And you do find a loose floorboard in the closet that would be used for right next to the front door where people would put their coats when they visit. However, it is removed and off to the side, and you do find, as though it has already been discovered, at the bottom of this secret compartment, there is a shoebox with little pink hearts on it.
I'll grab it. Tag.
It is very, very light when you pick it up.
I'm gonna carry it over to Tag and Rex and be like, "Here's the box. It's really light."
Yeah, let's take a peek.
Oh,
It is empty. Yeah, it is empty. Whatever was inside has been removed.
Okay, can we look for clues about who was in here?
Absolutely. You still have one clue from Tag. And then why don't we see, Tag, what is interesting you? Because I'm going to let Bryn roll her own investigative mystery to see what is tickling her fancy, if we still got Tag. Bryn, why don't you roll investigative mystery?
Is this plus sharp?
Roll it.
Plus
Do I
sharp.
have any points in the bank? Do I have any plus
No,
one?
just saying.
Do you want me to roll investigative mystery?
I got an 8.
Okay, cool. You got 2 questions you can ask me.
Is there any thing? Oh, that would be really hard to see. I was gonna see if there was anything left behind by somebody that could have cased the place, but if it's already a mess and it's not my place, I probably don't know what Spidich is and what somebody else is.
There is an ashtray that's just sitting on a nightstand next to the, and when you approach it, there is a single cigarette butt that looks like it had been set down while somebody was smoking and then left to burn itself out.
Does it have the mark?
Is there a
of
gray
fail?
skull on it?
Yeah.
There is a gray skull imprinted on the band above the filter.
Is this carpeted place? This carpet, correct?
There is a hardwood floor.
Oh, it's hardwood.
Hardwood.
Shoot, I was gonna see if there was heel indents in the carpet. There's no way.
Yeah, is there a rug anywhere? Look at a rug. There's got to be a rug.
There is a rug. It's buried beneath a lot of piles of stuff, but you can see that there is heel indentions. Yeah, there would be heel indentions.
This must be recent. I want to look for hair. I want to see if there's any kind of hair, locks of hair that maybe fell anywhere.
Where would you look? It's like a standard. It's a rather large, like 2-bedroom apartment, but pretty standard.
I want to look in the coat rack that sticks up because it's kind of near the corner where you would round to get to the shoebox to see if maybe it's snagged a hair.
Sure. When you get over there, there doesn't seem to be any hair.
No hair.
You get a sort of premonition from Sam, just like a whispering in your ear.
Vane residence. Maybe a hashtag Poirot would help you detect things. If he ever explains himself, which I doubt.
Tell me what just happened.
She just summoned Perot, our French psychic detective.
Will you please just tell chat what's up with this perk before we introduce the situation?
Yeah, it is a French sidekick detective, a little more hindrance than help, who has a rivalry with Sam.
I love it so much.
Oh, what? No, not Perot.
Whoa.
Oh.
As you are examining the coats in the closet, who gave us that hookup?
Mark.
That was Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. As you are examining the coats, kind of to no avail. There doesn't seem to be anything going on with the coats. You are actually drawn to the what did I put? A whistle from the breeze draws you over to the balcony door.
Oh.
When you reach it, the three of you I imagine the three of you were just kind of crowding around. You can see that it had been jimmied open and damaged in the process and left open a crack where it could not be closed all the way.
So they escaped out the window?
Yeah, as you start to think that, you do actually hear through that little crack a grunt.
I'm going to open the window.
You slide open the balcony door, and there is nobody standing on the balcony.
I'm going to look over the balcony.
You see, hanging off the side, trying desperately to get his feet onto the railing of the balcony below, is a person dressed remarkably like Sam, only they are wearing a white ascot. And they say, Sacre bleu!
What are you doing down there?
Honestly, I was trying to escape, but since you have cut me, I believe I am more likely to fall to my death. Perhaps I will answer your questions if you help me onto the balcony. And the person is, you can see that their plan was to lower themselves down and put their feet onto the railing below and climb down, but their feet are probably 9 inches above the railing below, so they're just kind of looking for purchase and being nowhere near it, and their arms are trembling a bit.
All right,
would
we'll
you like
help
to
you,
do?
but no funny business, all right?
No funny business, absolutely not.
All right.
Would you like to pull this person up?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you? Who's gonna do it?
Probably
Feels-
Rex.
Yeah, it feels like a Rex move.
Okay, Rex, that's gonna be plus strength there. You're gonna need to use your muscles, so you're gonna roll plus strength to pull this fool up.
Whoa, speaking of strength, Lumiere G just subscribed tier 1 for 29 months.
29 months?
Lumiere.
Wowie wee
That's only
wah.
29 months of extreme content.
Non-stop.
Thank you so much for that sub. You will get every sub's worth from Lisa.
I think she's got plus.
From Lisa.
What? What?
What?
What? Oh my god. The 29 months, they're here.
The ghosts of us in the future are also singing the praises of Lumiere G and their 29 month sub.
They're coming
Yes.
back and they're like, oh man, Lumiere G, those 29 months really set us on a path. Ultimately, that ended with us becoming ghosts. So, pros and cons, but we couldn't imagine it any other way. You know what I'm saying? Just can't imagine it any other way.
But I got a supporting role in the new Ghostbusters movie. They thought that I was a method actor.
Do we
Somebody roll. Wait, what? What is that, Rex?
Could we take a quick break?
Yeah, I think we should. We're going to end with you guys reaching over to help this anonymous person who's dangling off a balcony, and we will fade to a break.
See you in 29 months.
I'm up.
It's raining outside.
I don't see sunny or rainy. They're all just days to me.
Okay, but clearly it's raining.
Is it? I mean, yes, obviously it is, but just to play devil's advocate for a moment, is it really?
Yes, it is. Look outside.
So you want it to be sunny all the time. Is that what you want? You want constant sunshine. Have you ever heard of a drought?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that it's raining.
Look, don't be such a hater. All days matter.
Dude, just look outside.
You know, my cousin was caught in a snowstorm last year. Where was the outrage then?
I'm just pointing out.
It rains so much more in India. You have to deal with so much less weather in this part of the world. But I don't know why you're complaining. True, it was raining, but it's completely stopped now. Ancient history. Get over yourself. I studied meteorology in high school, and the term is actually precipitation. The climate changes are clearly part of a natural cycle that has nothing to do with us. So, rain should be underrepresented Maybe Rain just writes better science fiction. This kind of negativity just propagates the conservative agenda. People who wear raincoats anyway, right? F you. You ignorant dude. Did you back and your or were you just that way? I hope you get rained on. That'll teach you a lesson. To push this dry-hating cumulonimbus bull.
Had a little misunderstanding. Maybe we should go outside, take a walk. You can get some fresh air.
In the rain?
We get the final insert here and
All right.
break for second meal.
All right. Warm pocket cheese. I'm in. All right.
Okay, so are you familiar with how to fondle a nipple?
Nick? Yes.
Nick,
I'm going to shoot Christian's face. Shooting Christian's face.
Oh, come on.
No, you're gone.
All right. So apparently
We're
this
gonna
is
make a
just
movie.
like handling a nipple.
Okay.
So more pinch really hard.
Than isn't.
I'm going to pinch the
Okay.
nipple.
I'll pull focus now.
Work.
I need the back of your head, sir, and the front of yours.
It works tonight. Do you know?
No,
It's usually Ben that does.
Okay, okay. The sound of silence, because he's off camera and not talking, and Armageddon on that. Come on.
Still a double.
Whatever. Yes, I can do this.
Thanks.
No, you have to help.
Oh, what do I
Just
need
take
to do?
this here, and then
We'll
we're.
start on Leo's face before we go down. Get out.
Wow. Really? Huh. We gonna make a movie?
How does this work?
I don't know.
This is awesome.
I'm usually over there.
Okay. What happens if I twist this?
Hey,
What?
want to tune my mandolin?
Oh,
come on! Come on!
What's wrong with you?
Jeez, his words.
Sure.
What? What are you doing here?
Red card.
That is too big.
Ben's mom. Come on. What? Ben's mom is off limits.
What I've heard.
Oh, get out. Out. Hey. What? Oh, really? Wait. Why am I even in here? You're filling in for Andy. Okay. I don't even have to go. I just. Wait. Here you go. Are you serious? Seriously? Okay.
Okay, Rex, you have just been nominated to pull this gentleman up to safety. Would you please roll a strength roll?
No problem. Problem.
It's just like I add these moments in, to give you guys the illusion of danger, that all of these decisions could potentially spiral out of control. just assuming you'll be able to pull a guy up a balcony. What did you roll? Okay.
Oh no! Can we help out?
Yeah, you may. How would you like to do that? Actually,
He's surprisingly heavy.
I'm gonna grab Rex's waist and really like a pull on it to help her pull.
My waist is like a tree trunk, by the way.
I'm gonna use all my weight backwards.
I will tell you this,
grab
Bryn.
Bryn's ankles.
Oh, okay. So here's what I'll do. I love this too much to not at least entertain the idea. Typically, helping out can only give the person who you're helping a +1 max.
Oh no.
But because it also opens you up to whatever danger that they are currently experiencing that you are trying to assist in, I will allow both of you to assist, donating a +1 from each should you succeed on the roll. As long as you at least roll a partial success, you will be able to give Rex a +1. A full success would be good because then nothing bad would happen. Anything less than that is opening you up to the danger that is about to befall Rex. You see this person who she is trying to help.
I get all 3 stories. I'm fine. I'm very tough.
They get really scared. And as soon as Rex reaches down for them, they let go of the ledge and grab onto her arm. And the seam in her sleeve rips at the armpit and slides down like an otter pop. Rex, you are able to grab the sleeve right before it leaves your wrist, but only just. And you are now hanging, being pulled over from the jerk of the railing as this person goes,
No, I've invented a new fashion: 1 full sleeve, 1 no sleeve.
And personally, Rex, I love it. All right, so please, Bryn and Tag, enter into the danger zone and roll them dice.
Is it plus tough?
It is dependent on what you're doing. If you're just grabbing her around the waist and pulling, yes.
This is a 12.
Okay, so Bryn instinctively grabs Rex around the waist and digs her heels in and actually pauses Rex's momentum, keeping her from tumbling over the railing. But you see, Tag, that she is not going to be able to hold Rex for long because this person at the end of the sleeve is fighting quite a bit from fear.
Okay. So as I see Bryn sliding near the edge of the railing, holding on to Rex, holding on to Poirot, I'm going to just kind of like hook one of my feet.
Oh no.
He's in an extreme pose.
Yeah.
Hook one of my feet?
Whatever he did, it was very successful. Is what
You'd
I
like me to assume that, wouldn't you?
Oh, well, it's
It just seemed
a
reasonable,
cliffhanger, guys.
Given how much he was stretching to indicate what he was doing.
The last thing we heard there, Tag, was you.
I'm gonna hook my feet sort of on the doorway, and reach out and grab Bryn's ankles, and let's see.
So you're kind of like Supermaning it. Okay. Yeah, roll it.
Come on, come on. Oh no.
Tag.
No.
Tag.
The fadeaway 4. Okay.
No.
It's this really, really tense moment of, it's in the quiet of night. You hear the sleeve rip. The man yells, "Sacre bleu!" Rex begin to tumble over. Bryn brace her and succeed, and then begin to slip. And Tag just jump and grab her ankles. But because he's not wearing any shoes, it's because of his robot costume, his feet do start to slip. And one by one, Rex goes over the railing, and then Bryn, and then Tag, who slides over and manages to hook his feet into the railing before falling over in a very painful fashion. Tag, you're actually going to take 1 harm, ignoring any armor. And you are now all 3 dangling over the edge of this railing, which has given Poirot plenty of room to find his footing on the railing and start to climb down onto the 2nd story balcony. And you can see that he's pulling out what looks like a Slim Jim that you would use on a car to break into it. He's about to use it.
Thought he was pulling out a pepperoni
he's
stick.
Break into a Slim Jim. He pulls that out and begins to work on this door that is locked on the 2nd story balcony. We can all be sure that this is just going to be a random person's apartment, as he is trying to use a tool to break into it. Rex, because you were closest, you are now kind of like holding yourself in a handstand on the railing as you've caught yourself once Poirot disappeared.
I bet it looks
What
cool.
the hell would you guys like to do? You're kind of Cirque du Soleil down in a waterfall pattern with Tag at the top, feet in the railing. Bryn in the middle, being held by her ankles, holding you, Rex, as you are holding the railing. And Poirot is working desperately to open the door.
I think I will say to Bryn, let go. I have a good grip on this balcony so that she doesn't have to try and keep me up.
Okay. Bryn, how do you respond?
I'm like, okay, if I let go, then Tag's still holding my ankles, and he's where's Tag?
He's hanging upside down by his ankles in the railing.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let go, and then can I just use my magic to make like a pillow?
I'd like to stop the show for just a moment and say, yes, Bryn, you are a magic user. You are a magic user. What are you doing dangling off of balconies? You fucking crazy person. I wanted to tell you guys, like,
a whole season and a vampire. I'm still getting used to it.
You can use as much magic as you want.
Then finally making a pillow out of fucking chocolate.
Yeah, look, to come to Lisa's defense, I think that there's something really intuitive and instinctual and natural about seeing someone falling off of railings and lunging to grab them, not waving a fucking wand around,
Yeah.
Gypsy. She's not Harry fucking Potter.
It's been 2 episodes of sticky situations in which nobody's used magic.
Well, I'm trying not to draw attention to myself, obviously, but right now I'm gonna do it.
All right, I'm coming on a bit strong. What do you want to do?
Close your fucking closet door. I'm sick and tired of looking at your undies behind your head. Telling us we can use magic. Come on, man. Just close the door.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Better?
Yeah. I was grasping at straws, Bryn. I just wanted to hit him back.
Thanks.
Okay. What would you like to do? You are hanging there. Do you let go of Rex?
Yes.
Okay, Rex,
And
roll
grab my
dexterity,
staff.
please.
Do
Yeah, I'm
what?
gonna do a sweet tumble onto that 2nd floor balcony.
You are going to attempt to do a sweet tumble.
Oh no, I dropped that one on the floor. Dang it, was good too. Okay. Yes. It's an 8.
Okay, cool. You are able to catch yourself. You aren't able to do a tumble, but you do not fall and break through the balcony below you, which I was going to make you do if you failed. But you do catch yourself. Your legs fall, and you do catch yourself, kind of at waist height on the balcony as you hear a click from the door as this person has now jimmied the lock. Bryn, you are going to cast a spell?
Yeah. I'm gonna.
What are you
make-
casting?
Well, what am I looking at? A balcony below me?
Yeah, you are hanging upside down by your ankles. There is a balcony below you.
Well, then I'm just going to reach out to all of the foliage that's around me and make a nice little pillow, and I'm going to tell Tag to let go.
Are you trying to drop onto the balcony or down to the ground floor?
Well, our Perot is on the second floor balcony,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
I'm not
Okay.
letting him out of my sight.
Okay, there are some hedges there, some decorative foliage.
Yeah, I'll just pull those up.
Okay. Why don't you roll use magic? And we're going to reinstitute a rule that we used to have where during an encounter, you will incur a -1 penalty each time you use magic, which is something we added before Blight, which we haven't done.
That's an 8.
Cool. So there's going to be a glitch. Do you have the glitch list up next to you?
I don't know if it's in my main.
That's okay. I'll give them to you real quick. You either have a weakened effect. The effect only lasts for a short time. You take harm from using magic. Your magic draws immediate, unwelcome attention, or it has a problematic side effect.
I think it has a problematic side effect.
Okay, cool. So you are able to reach out and kind of access the bloom magic that is inside these plants. And you see that they grow up and at an accelerated rate. And in your relief, you let go and fall right into what you think will be a nice little pillow. And you take no harm. But the unwelcome side effect is that they are continuing to grow so that they resemble kind of a playground slide. And you feel yourself slipping now down towards the ground floor. You are not in danger, but you are no longer within grabbing distance of the second floor balcony. And you very quickly find yourself at the foot of a hedge slide on the ground floor, looking up at the balconies of this. You're in like a courtyard.
I got you. And Tag's gonna like unhook his feet, slide down, try to rehook his feet a floor below, and grab her.
Okay. We're gonna roll plus dex.
Yeah, which is a 12 because I'm a fucking cool cucumber.
So you two fall onto the top of this slide, but you're able to work your feet into where it has grown over the railing, and you do grab Bryn. So the two of you are now laying on this slide that is partially down towards like a courtyard at the bottom of this, like a private courtyard that would be in the back where the residents of this building can go and have a picnic or step out for a smoke or whatever. And the two of you are in this position. Rex, you are still hanging onto the balcony, and you see Poirot slide the door open. He looks over his shoulder and goes, "Ho ho!" just as a light is clicked on from inside the apartment. And we cut back to the glamorous Val, where Sam is just wrapping up a drink with his friend Nadja.
Well, old times sure do bring a smile to my face.
Is there anything else you want to do in the bar? You did see an old friend of yours. You can define your relationship. An old, at least acquaintance of yours at the bar.
Yeah. Hudson.
Is there anything else you want to do in here before you leave?
No, I think I'm going to keep a low profile with Hudson. I don't, I'm not trying to open up that tool chest, but it's good to know he's in town.
Okay. So you want to sneak is too strong of a word because you're not going to be ducking from under tables, but are you trying to leave without him catching your attention?
No.
Or without you catching his attention?
I'm not going to, I don't want to incur ill will between us. I'm just going to walk over, clap him on the shoulder and say, "Hey, I'm back in town. We should catch a cup of coffee one of these days."
He turns around and he's got a big old stogie in his mouth that he's just been chewing on. And he goes, "My God, Hagen, a sight for sore eyes. I heard you was pinched. I heard you wasn't coming back. What are you doing in town?"
Well, got to check on the ex-wife. Got to keep, got to keep track of Jenny. I still got my office here. Man's got to eat, so,
Yeah. Hey, you've been gone a while, Sammy. I just want to give you a word of advice. He fumbles for a lighter and he's trying to light his cigar and it won't light, so he gives up on it. He says, "It's been a little tough out on the streets, but if you ever need somebody to watch your back,
give me a call. I'm still at the same precinct. They bumped me to the homicide desk.
Oh, well, that'll keep you busy, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're telling me. You can see that he's not dressed in his usual, like, they wear like a corporate security guard type outfit. The beat cops do. They actually look kind of nerdy and sterile. He's actually just wearing the company version of your private eye outfit. It's like a black trench coat, black button-down shirt, black tie, black hat that's sitting on the bar next to him. He looks as though he has gotten a promotion since last you saw him.
Look like you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Hey, I do what I can.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I may have to take you up on that offer at some point.
You got it, Sammy. He stands up and the bartender comes over to handle the tab, and you see him. You see, what's this fella's
name?
Hudson. I got it right here. Hudson. You see Hudson reach into his coat and pull out a black card that looks exactly like the one that you have, with no markings, no company symbol, nothing on it. This is not a. Homicide detectives have more clout, but they would not be rolling in dough. And he puts it down on the bar and slides it towards the bartender. And as he does, you actually notice that he's wearing what would be appropriate for a company homicide detective to be wearing, but it's like designer brands. You know, it's like Givenchy brand.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. As the only brand name in our
right.
Well, that's top shelf. That's top shelf threads.
Really, really fancy the clothing designers also make kitchen appliances. So that's how you get top end.
If you remember, that was a crossover branding event.
Yeah.
That was described in fiction.
Givenchy.
Yeah, so the card is run. He leaves a generous tip and then puts the card back in his pocket. He says, "Yeah, Sam, I'll walk you out." And the two of you stroll out to the front. And you're standing there outside.
I strike a match and offer it for his cigar that he didn't like.
He leans forward like an idiot and just kind of like does manage to get it going. But it's so short, you could tell it's like burning his fingers. And he looks at you and he goes, "I don't know why I just did that."
Yeah, old habits.
Is there anything else you want to talk to Hudson about before he leaves? He gives you a card with what would be the extension to his desk.
Yeah.
This does have a company logo on it, backing up his story. And it says, you guys call it like the homicide division, which would be like a colloquial thing. This is called, it would be called something like what's like a corporate word for homicide? I want it to be something like, I want it to be something different.
Okay. Like a
86th?
Yeah, like it would be something like asset.
Corporally unanimated individuals?
Yeah, division. Corporately unanimated individuals division. The CUID, the quid. It says quid on it, and he hands you the card. And he says, "Hey, hopefully I'll be seeing you around, Sammy, and give me a ring. Don't wait too long."
Yeah, we'll do. Maybe we'll go see the fights. Nothing comes up.
And he walks away and gets into the back seat of a black car that has tinted black windows, and is driven away as though that car was idling there at the curb waiting for him.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna head back to. Oh wow. Yeah, I guess
it's been about like an hour. Your meeting with Nadia took like, 45 minutes. You spent maybe 10 catching up with Hudson. So it's been about an hour.
All right. I'm gonna head back to the office.
Excellent.
Oh no.
So we're gonna situation first, and then we're going to cut back to Sam. Sam, you start heading back towards the office. It's only a couple blocks away. It does not take you long, and you go upstairs to your office and open the door, and we cut to the balcony where a light has just been turned on inside the building, and Poirot stands there with the Slim Jim frozen solid and says, this person, okay, says, shh, 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 and is telling you, Rex, shh, 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 and you hear from inside, Frank? Frank, is that you? He's like, he's gesturing like, you do something, you do something.
Yes, honey, I thought I heard a noise, but it was nothing.
Just roll a charisma check for me, please.
Oh no.
Because I want to give it to you, but again, I'm just inviting chaos.
That's my worst stat.
Me too. You could do it.
Oh.
4. Okay. You hear
No,
from
that
inside.
was the Twinkle Fingers 5.
Yeah, Twinkle Fingers
okay.
5, Jesse. Get it with the picture,
So-
man.
Sorry. Okay, so you hear from inside. Oh, I thought I heard something too. I better come out there and check on you.
I love that she ultimately still succeeded the charm in the sense that this woman bought her Frank impression.
Yeah, it was spot on. I just decided to take a hard move.
It's cold out here. Don't you worry.
I've got my robe on, Frankie.
Well, thank God for that. We don't need to show the neighbors.
Poirot, this person says, I do not like our prospects with this ruse, and runs past you, Rex, and dives onto the slide, and both Tag and Bryn need to make a dexterity check.
Okay. This is another opportunity to clarify what this is.
All right.
So
I got a 11.
Okay. So this person dives into the air in slow motion and lands belly first onto the hedge slide, which has been grown by Bryn's magic, and torpedoes down at an alarming rate. Bryn, facing up and holding onto Tag's hands, is able to see in time, grab the side, and roll out of the way. Is not able to move, and Poirot, this person, smashes. The way that I see this is that you got kind of like spread legs holding in. His head just kind of hits you right in the butt, and the two of you tumble down the slide as Bryn moves out of the way, and you both crash into a bush in the courtyard of this apartment. And he hugs you tightly, Tag, and says, "Our best chance of survival is complete silence."
Tag's instinctively just holding on to him as well.
And you guys are sitting there. In there. Bryn, you're still hanging off the slide, and Rex, you can see now that another light has been turned on, and there is a woman coming outside, rubbing her glasses, as though she's trying to get them ready to put on. You are still standing on the porch. What would you do?
I'm gonna dive for the slide.
Okay. I do not think that it requires a roll. You jump into the slide and slide down.
Probably leveled up by now.
There you go.
Yay!
We'll get you a cool move for that. Start thinking about it. I'm down for something from the book, or if you got something in mind, we can craft it. But yeah, you just slide down and crash into the bush, and you see Tag in his long johns hugging tightly this mysterious person in a trench coat and an ascot. And when you get down there, I think that they both turn to you in unison and reach for you and hug you in close. And the person says, "As I was telling your friend here, I believe silence is the key to our survival." And Bryn, you see on the balcony.
Yeah, so
Sorry. You see this woman put on her glasses, Bryn, as you're hanging there on the slide. And she's an older woman, and she just goes, "Frankie? Frankie? I thought you said Juice was on the balcony."
Oh.
I'm downstairs, hon.
Roll charisma, please.
Just let this senile old woman believe that
Wait,
Frankie is there,
That's a
man.
7.
Don't break her
What?
heart.
7.
7? Okay. She says, "Oh, is that where you went? I'll meet you down there." And she walks back inside, and you do not hear from her, at least for the time being.
Well, I'm getting off this balcony.
Okay. You're able to just slide down this slide that you made, and there's just now this huge, like the way that I picture it is like this huge hedge that's just been curved down into a slide, a very dense hedge, and it's probably 4 feet wide, 2 feet thick, down 2 stories, draped over like fucking bubble wrap or something, whatever that fruit or what is that gum that came in like the spool?
Bubble tape.
Bubble tape is what I meant to say. Yeah, just kind of
But also
draped
fruit
over like,
by the foot, much more delicious than bubble tape.
right. I would have to agree with you.
Yeah.
And so you are now all down, and as you get to the bottom, Bryn, you see this mysterious person in the ascot, Tag, and Rex, and they're all huddled very tightly with their arms wrapped around each other. And I think in
Group
unison,
hug!
they all turn to you and extend their hands and bring you in close, and they say, "Shh. Silence is crucial for our survival."
Well, she's coming down here, so we probably should move out of line of sight.
Brilliant. I was just about to say so myself.
Oh.
And he pops up and does a little like lemur look out of the thing and drops back in and says, "I have incredibly bad night vision, but I suspect the coast is clear."
Okay, we'll follow you.
Right. And he pops up and takes off into the night, and you pop up and follow after him. And we're actually going to cut back to Sam. You open the door to your office. When you left, Jenny was sitting at the front desk with her feet up and a shotgun in her lap. And you had left Fittich in your personal office with the door locked at his insistence. And so when you open the door, that's kind of what you expect, as this is not the first time you've asked Jenny to look after a suspect or a witness. When you open the door, however, she's actually slumped over her desk. Let me get to my little place here so that I can be ready to rock for whatever you need. Yeah. The front door was actually locked. I assume you had your key.
Yeah.
And when you get inside, you do find Jenny slumped over her desk. She's breathing steady, but she is not moving.
Jenny? I walk over to the desk, prepared for the worst. I just put 2 fingers on her carotid artery, see if there is breath and a heartbeat.
There is. She has a pulse. It seems regular. You actually catch the whiff of like a strange smell that you can't place. You get a little bit of deja vu. It's like kind of like ozone. I guess would be a close approximation. It's like a very strange smell. It's faint, but it does kind of give you a little deja vu. Jenny does not wake to your touch.
I try to sit her up and I examine her to see if she's been like clobbered or anything like that.
Sure. You do sit her up. Roll investigate a mystery. We're just going to kind of have that roll through this next little bit.
That's a 9.
Cool. You're going to have 2 questions. You don't need to use one of them on this. You can tell very simply that she is unconscious and she has kind of a knot on the back of her head where she must have taken a whack. You would guess from a sap or something like that. And when you open her eyes, you can see that she may be a little concussed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I just. All right. I'm gonna just. She's still out. She's still unconscious.
She's still out. She's breathing fine. She's got a pulse. She does not seem to have suffered any other injury than a whack to the back of the head.
All right. Well, I don't want her falling over, so I'll just take off my jacket, kind of fold it up to act as like a pillow, and just rest her back on the desk so she's a little more comfortable.
Let me see if that would give you any information. No. Okay. Yeah, you are able to lay her back down. The door to your office is still closed and locked. Is there anything you want to do in the little lobby? Or
is there any Chinese food there?
Now that you're thinking about it, yes, there is. It's like it's next to the coffee machine. It has just been stacked up. You could see that they had probably eaten some and put the leftovers back, and not everything would fit into your mini fridge. So there's a fucking huge stack of Chinese food just sitting on top of a filing cabinet on the other side of the room.
I look at what was eaten.
She ate the noodles that you know that she loves, and it looks like maybe 4 or 5 things are also missing that you wouldn't peg her to eat, but you assume Fittich had an appetite. It looks like 2 people's worth of food has been eaten from. You ordered the menu, you said, so there's a lot of food left over.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go knock on my office door.
Okay. There is no response.
All right. I'm going to stand to the side, unlock it, and open the door.
Okay. Nothing happens. Are you looking inside, or are you off to the side to protect yourself?
I'm off to the side for now.
Okay. I imagine you're crouched. The wall to your office is half wood, and then the top half are panels of smoked glass. And so I imagine you're like crouched down behind the wood. You open the door, nothing happens. From where you are currently, you cannot see anything.
And I'm guessing Jenny's shotgun is nowhere to be seen.
It's actually just on the ground underneath her desk. It doesn't look like it had been placed there, that it might have just been, if she'd been holding it in her lap and fell forward, you could imagine that. From your vantage now, low to the ground, you could imagine that she might have just dropped it on the floor.
All right. Well, I probably should have picked that up before I opened the door. So, being the bull-headed guy that I am, I'm going to go ahead and peek into the office.
Okay. Just trying to find my place. Your office looks exactly how you left it, except for one thing. In the center of the room, face down on the floor, is a body.
Crap. Does it look like Fittich?
It is Fittich.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna walk over. Does it look like he's maybe also concussed?
He is, you give him the same treatment. You are slightly less hopeful because you do not see any breath, and when you do put your fingers to his neck, he does not have a pulse. He is dead.
No.
But he is not cold. He is actually extremely hot to the touch.
What?
Oh wow. Okay. How long has he been dead?
You can't tell because the temperature is not natural. It is not body. It's not like human body temp, and you would expect him to have cooled at least slightly. He seems to have been whatever the heat is. I will give you. It seems to be potentially one of the things, if not the thing, that killed him.
Huh.
So this heat is it's not giving you an idea. Like you can't tell how long he's been dead because he's in an extremely strange temperature.
All right, I'm gonna touch his body to see if there's been any sort of like, if there's any distortions or anything like that in his body. Can I find a wound, like an entry wound or an exit wound or anything like that?
You don't see anything on his back, and when you go to roll him over, you stop because you get a very strange feeling. His body is very
heavy,
soft.
Is the smell stronger in here? The
It
ozone
is.
smell?
Now that you're looking for it, you can definitely smell it.
Huh. Do I see any liquids or anything like that on the floor? Any other distortions in the room?
There is no liquids on the floor, but once you start looking around, you do see on the hardwood floor of your office that there are several scorch marks. They're in a straight line that goes from... if Fittich is laying face down on the ground, it would be a straight line about the length of a door right behind his feet, and then there is a similar burn running straight up the side of your desk.
I examined to see if there's any effect that was made on the desk. Is it just a burn line?
It's a scorch mark, yeah.
Scorch mark.
Something very hot and very thin made contact with it, but it did not catch anything on fire. It almost looks like it cauterized the wood on the floor and the desk.
He feels soft.
Yeah, you want to take a closer look at him?
Yeah, I would like to investigate the body a little bit closer.
You roll him over very carefully because you get this impression that as you feel different parts of his body where you would expect there to be a shoulder blade or a hip bone or an elbow, it seems like there's a chance that inside of his body, his bones were liquefied.
He was like cooked. They cooked him. Oh,
and
God.
When you turn him over, you can see that he does have the marks of somebody who has been strangled. And those indentions are very prominent now that he no longer has substantial mass underneath the skin. He's kind of like a loose water balloon right now, which is really gross.
I matched my hand over the handprint to try to get a sense of how big the hand was or how much smaller the hand was than my own.
What's your stature as Sam?
Let's see. He's 6'1".
Okay.
And he's not particularly, he's rather slight of frame. He's not very powerful, which is one of the reasons why every time he gets into a fist fight, he seems to lose.
Sure.
Even with scientists, it's been kind of a funny happenstance. But yeah, so he has thin hands, but not particularly, just not huge hands. Yeah.
You see hands that are similar to yours. They are slender, possibly slightly smaller even. Not outrageously so, but you would get the impression that this is not somebody with big hands or strong hands. Actually, it's somebody who has hands similar to yours.
And can I tell if the hands were choking from the front or holding from behind?
Choking from the front. You can clearly see the thumb impressions around like the larynx. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. It didn't really do much damage elsewhere. All right. Why would they put him back in the office? All right, I'm gonna go back out and check on Jenny while I contemplate this a little bit.
She's actually waking up when you do. She looks a bit confused, actually. She doesn't seem to know immediately what's going on, and she says, she's no dummy, you know, like she knows she didn't like fall asleep. She knows that she was knocked out. She's very tenderly touching her, and then she looks at the office door, sees that it's open, and grabs the shotgun from the ground, cocks it, and stands up, and almost loses her balance and sits back down in the chair.
Yeah, I help her. I sit her down and go, "Stay here. You've had a bump on the head." I go over to the fridge/ice box. I get some ice, and I'm gonna roll to see if there's any ice in there. It's just as likely that there is 6 worth of ice in there. So
there is a single cube.
Oh man, I put it in a handkerchief and I take it over to her. She earned it. She deserves a better ice, but that's what we get for now.
Sure. She uses a circular movement to make it effective, and she says, "What the hell happened, Sam? What the hell happened, Sam?"
So I checked the shotgun real quick. Has she used it at all?
No, she has not. It has not been discharged. And actually, when you step around the desk to check out the shotgun, there are scorch marks in a very similar fashion directly behind her chair, as if about the size of a doorway, you know, so maybe like 3.5 or 3 feet there is directly behind her, and there is a similar line that goes all the way up the wall, and it looks like it has been cut through, cauterized directly behind where she was sitting.
Huh. She didn't see anything. All right, I go back into the office and I go to the window and look for forced entry.
That's the thing. Now that you're looking, you check the front door. It does not look. You locked it behind you, and you know that Jenny wouldn't open it for anybody. It was kind of we got a VIP in here that nobody can know is in here, so nobody gets in, nobody gets out till we get home. She actually tells you. She says, some like fucking awesome stuff, but I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, she says, I don't know what happened, Sam. Like, you're checking the door as you do this, the front door. You can see that the front door has not been tampered with. The lock has not been picked. You've had to kick in your own door a couple times. The like shoddy replacements that have been put in have not been fucked with. She says, I was just sitting here at the table, snapping gum, and then I was out. I don't know. You go over and you check the office door that separates the lobby from your private office. That door, which you had to unlock to get into, has also not been fucked with. Nobody jimmied that lock. Nobody broke it. All of the windows are intact. She follows you into the office as you go to check the exterior, the window, which would lead to like the fire escape. The window does not seem to have been messed with at all. It does not appear that your office was broken into. And she says, I didn't see anybody. Nobody came in. Door's been locked the whole time, at least while I was conscious. You know, no calls, no messages, no knocks, nothing.
Yeah. I got a hunch about what happened here, and it would really explain why Kale wants it. It would explain why the Morellis want it, and whoever's got it was able to do this without ever getting caught or detected. What is the shape of the scorch mark behind her desk?
It's
the area behind her desk is a little bit, like in your office, there's a lot of open space. So you basically saw like a short line on the ground and a short line up a very short desk. Now that you're in the lobby where the ceiling's a bit low and her little cubby's a bit cramped, there's a scorch mark on the ground, and then there's a small gap, and then it goes up, and then there's another one on the ceiling. And it's about the size of a door frame, you would say.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. All right, I go back into the office and look for an equal size scorch mark in that same pattern.
The one in the office doesn't have the to support this, but you can extrapolate from the lines, having seen the full version out in the lobby, that this would have been the same shape had it had any walls nearby.
All right, well...
She walks in and she says, what do you think, Sam? What happened?
So, I'll tell you what I think, and it's going to sound crazy, but this is what I'm thinking. The device that was taken, the device that Fittich has, somehow opens up a portal, and somebody could step through. They sapped you onto the head, knocked you out. That's why you didn't see him. It's why the front door didn't open. It's why you didn't fire off a shot. You go down, they step back through this portal. Portal closes, leaving these scorch marks. Then they open up another portal on the other side. They go through, they have their way with Fittich. They're able to off him. I don't know about the putting him in a microwave scenario just yet, but obviously it doesn't really make sense if they're going to also strangle him, why they would melt him afterwards. And then they teleported out without needing to jimmy any windows. Definitely would make sense why the company would want it. Would make sense why the Morellis would want it. And it makes sense why we should probably get it and not let them have it.
So let me get this straight. You're looking for somebody that's got a device that'll let them walk through walls and liquefy people's bones?
Yeah,
and
sounds
they
about
don't
right.
want to get rid of it, and you's about to try and take it away from them?
Yeah. We should, that's bad. If they already have it, that means that the rest of the crew probably, oh no. Okay. Okay, well, where did all my friends go?
We actually cut back to the courtyard of the the Quiet Arms, and we see Poirot, this person, sprinting.
At this point, Poirot is just French for this person.
They are running towards a corner, turning over their shoulder, beckoning you to follow. And just as they pass the plane of the corner and take it around, you see something very strange in the air that they just passed through. And these two red dots actually appear in the sky about 8 feet tall and separate, drawing a red line. They then begin to trace a rectangle about the size of a door. And once they connect again at the bottom, the space that is there inside the square disappears. And you can see a bright red light and the outline of a slender yet imposing figure. Blackout.
Huzzah!
Oh no!
Oh, Holy moly.
Oh God.
Holy moly.
I'm just gonna make myself some notes. You guys do your post episode thing.
Okay, that was a super sweet door description of that interdimensional door. I was super into that. Super into that.
You like that portal description?
Oh man. Okay, well, we have a question in chat from Meta Voice, I think. Let me double check.
Is
Yes.
it how can our jumpers possibly survive next week's encounter?
I got it right here. Are you talking about the holiday thing?
Yeah.
Meta Voice. Our question for the cast this week is from Meta Voice, and the question is: what is your favorite holiday destination / place? I assume when it is easier to get there without the plague, or maybe you found a place this year that's really cool. Regale us, y'all.
I can start.
Please.
So
Please.
my immediate family and some of my sister's husband's family, we have a holiday tradition where, not this year, but for several years prior, we rent like a really large cabin, and then we all just go and hang out there and play video games, and not video games, play games and do puzzles and whittle spoons and any manner of things. And so it's not so much a specific location as it is gathering together with this group of people and kind of doing whatever the hell you want, because whatever you want to do, there's usually someone who will want to do it with you. So I'm hoping we can do that next year, but we'll see. I mean, this year. I very much hope we'll be able to do it in 2022, but we'll see about 2021.
It's not so much a holiday, but there was a couple years when I was younger where after the school year ended, my dad would take my younger sister and I out to this place called Holden Beach in North Carolina, which is a very tiny little beach that just had a big causeway leading to the strip, the one road strip, where there were places up on the beach. There was a putt-putt golf course called Fantasy Isle, a dollar store, a movie rental store next to, and in fact combined with the dollar store, and a water slide place. And that's kind of it in this whole area. And
what else do you need when you have all those things?
What else? Not to mention the ocean. But it was really, it became very much, if I had to identify we didn't take holiday vacations really. My dad would go on a lot of business trips that he would sometimes take my sister and I along with him to. But those were the vacations I guess we took, except for this one spot, Holden Beach. It was the only place where we kept coming back to it. So it's bittersweet at this point, but it's a very, very vivid collection of memories for my whole, I have memories of Holden Beach at all these different ages. And of course it changed. The experience changed and we changed, but it was always, I look back on it very, very fondly. I miss it a bunch. Haven't seen it in over a decade.
I'll go next. For me, it's probably going to change soon because it's just this place where I am right now, which I've been in for too long at this point. So I would like to maybe go elsewhere for the next one where we can travel. But because when I was growing up, I was an only child and my mother, for the most part, was a single mother, we just never really got around to creating holiday traditions. We just had some very standard Christmas fare that we would do. That's just kind of like the stock Christmas experience. And so once we decided, my girlfriend and I, who I've lived with for like 15 years, we decided we were going to make Christmas a thing. We just began creating our own traditions and involving some of our friends, some of whom are here on the stream, and making it our own. as the years went on and our traditions became actual traditions that were repeated because we wanted to repeat them and they weren't just your generic celebrations, creating them with those people became very cool. And so I actually, before I just thought of Christmas when I was a youth, a little boy, I just thought of Christmas as like that day where I got like a 64 game and then would go and play it by myself all day. It's now Christmas has become this like very cool, important time to look forward to when I get to do a lot of stuff that I love because I love it with people that I love doing it with. So it's actually home, but as soon as we get all vaccinated as a country, I'm getting the fuck out of here. So maybe this year it won't be home, and then next year we can return to it when I no longer will be tired of being in this room. But you know, you get it. We're all in this country right now.
That's right. I'll jump in. One of my childhood friends has a family cabin, like a little cabin up in Northern California off the Russian River. I think it's, maybe 15, 20 miles from Mendocino, something like that. And a bunch of my oldest friends, guys that I've known since we were, 10 years old, something like that, would occasionally get away to this cabin and, just kind of do really stupid shit like, get totally hammered on beers and then, get butt naked and go down to the river and just talk shit and dare each other to swim across it and, go shoot guns and pretend like Coke cans are zombies and, shit like that. Just, dudes that you feel like you've known them forever, and something about being in that ice cold mountain river water and being totally away from civilization and not having any like Wi-Fi or anything like that. And when I get away, some percentage of the time I love to just really get away.
That's awesome. Gosh, my mom was scared to fly, so I didn't actually fly in a plane until I was 22, I think.
What?
So, yeah, and we flew into Vegas into a windstorm, and I thought I was gonna die. It was awful. That's not my story. So everywhere we would go is places we could drive. And we started going when I was 5 every year to Cannon Beach, Oregon, and we have gone every year except last year. This last year was the first year, and I don't even know how many years we didn't go, but we go with my brother, and I grew up going there. And then when we both got married, we took our spouses there, and then we've taken our kids there, and they've grown up there. For people that don't know, it's like the Haystack Rock is where the Goonies, the ship, comes out. So it's this beautiful, like, magical beach. I've been to a bunch of beaches in my life, but this one, I don't know what it is. It's just really special, and it's got this really old-fashioned town and the best pizza place in the whole entire world ever, like the best pizza, called Pizza Feta, and it hasn't changed in 25 years. It's been there. It's so great. And they just put in an escape room, which was super dope because I'm really into those. So we did that a couple years ago, and like we used to do this thing where we would take a shot of tequila, like when we were in our 20s. My dad, my brother, and I, our spouses, and we would run into the Oregon coast at like 11 o'clock at night, and it was absolutely insane. It was so cold. So yeah, I think that'll be the spot that hopefully one day. They have a little theater called the Coaster Theater, and it's always been my dream to like retire there and just work in a little theater and write books. So yeah,
that sounds pretty magical.
Yeah,
it's just one of those places, like as soon as you get there, it has this feel to it. It's inspiring and art filled and otherworldly. I don't know, I really connected to it. So yeah. Geese.
Yeah.
Okay guys, well thanks for hanging out with us, and bearing with us while we get through these tech birthing process. I don't even know what to talk about.
I like that. We'll call it a birthing process.
Tech birthing process. Labor pains. Thank you so much to Mark Thomason, who was running the tech and spent 2 hours before our stream today working on stuff and figuring it out. Thanks, Mark, so much. We appreciate you. Thank you to Aaron Buman, who does our intro and all those sick graphics in the beginning, the new Void. I just really paid attention to it today, and it's so beautiful. And he does all the music. We have new music. If you notice this season, we've got some really cool noir type music. Thank you to Merc Worky, our mod in chat. Thank you, Merc. Woo. Keeping things going, keeping us honest. And we will remember the elf on the shelf next time. I just didn't have a good didn't have the moment yet.
Now in pinstripes.
Totally.
I forgot about one thing I want to say.
Okay.
I just want to say for anyone who is watching this stream, so may not have the chat, the organization that I talked about today, you can visit them at wocunite.org. And I strongly recommend checking them out and supporting them. Okay.
Back to Lisa. Just thank you to Zombie Orpheus for hosting us. You guys are fantastic. Thank you to everyone that donated bits and donations and subbed and followed. I saw a bunch of new stuff. We are here every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have a Discord you could join. You can see some really sweet fan fiction and fan art that gets put in there. And we've got some new stuff cooking. We had a really good meeting today. We've got some stuff down the pipeline planned for Void Jumpers. We will update all that stuff in the Discord. We've got, is Zoe Game Night done for now for a little bit? Yeah, okay, so we've got the Reliables on Monday. Brand new Zoe show, really cool. I've been catching it the last couple Mondays, and it's super fun. And then we will be back next Wednesday. That's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Woo!
Woo!